Hi friends, my name is Melanie and welcome to my channel, Bacon Grease Goddess. Today I'm excited to be a part of Fermented February. I have some links down below of everyone who is participating in Fermented February. Some of you may already follow Anna from Fermented Homestead, and she has put together a whole group of collaborators, and we're all going to be sharing some of our favorite fermented foods recipes this month. And at the end of the month, Anna is going to be having a giveaway for some mason tops. So you want to make sure to follow her below. So let's get started today. I'm going to be showing you how to make one of my absolute favorite fermented food recipes, fermented berries. The first thing when it comes to making any fermented foods is you want to have all of your equipment sterilized and clean and ready for you when you get started. And then for our berries, I'm going to be using blueberries today, and we're going to be washing those. Today I'm going to be using a saltwater rinse. You can also use like an apple cider rinse or a fruit and veggie wash. And then for this recipe, we're going to be using coconut palm sugar, salt. So that's a 1/4 cup coconut palm sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt. And the salt is really important. You want to use a mineral salt. You can use pink Himalayan, Celtic, or the Redmond's real salt. Lastly, I'm going to be using lemon juice. Now for the liquid, you could also use like the whey strained off from yogurt. You can use a vegetable starter culture pack. I'm just using lemon juice. And so let's go ahead and get our berries washed. Essentially, I'm gonna be looking for any stems or any berries that are crushed or that are already looking a little bit smushed or rotten. I'm gonna pick through and make sure that I don't have any of those in my fermented berries. Whenever you're making anything fermented, obviously even food related, you wanna make sure your hands are really clean. So let's go ahead and get these berries washed. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of salt over the top. If you notice any other stems or any other rotten fruit or squished fruit, you want to make sure to get that out. Sometimes you might even notice some bugs, especially if they're organic. You might notice some bugs that you want to get out. We're going to go ahead and transfer these to a clean bowl. You want to measure out 4 cups. Perfect, 4 cups. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add in our 1/4 cup of coconut palm sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt. We're using mineral salt. Lemon juice, so 4 tablespoons. And we're doing this in the bowl because it's easier to stir this together. And now we're gonna go ahead and put this into our jar. So you've got a clean mason jar, and I'm gonna use this top, and it makes it just a little bit easier when I pour the berries in. So I have a little bit of berries left over in here, but that's okay, we will get to that. The most important thing when you're making a fermented food is you want to have an inch of head space at the top. We're gonna go ahead and begin to crush them. And we want to press the berries down into the jar and begin to crush them. So we're basically gonna be making a juice with that salt and that sugar and the berries. That salt is going to help to protect to where there's no unwanted organisms. And essentially what that means is that this is going to be a food that is high in beneficial bacteria, which as we know is good for gut health and it's good for immune health, which means it helps with nutrient absorption. Okay, so as you can see, I've got about 4 inches. But I'm gonna keep crushing. I wanna crush these berries. I want them to release their juice. It's okay if some are whole, but basically I'm also going to be making sure that I have enough room to put these other berries in. And we're just gonna keep crushing the berries until everything is pretty well situated under the liquid. Right now I have about 2 inches of head space. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of filtered water just to make sure that I'm covering all the berries with the liquid. Now here's where it gets extremely simple. Get your mason jar lid that's clean, put the lid on, and you are gonna set this on your counter for 2 days. Just like this, you're not gonna do anything. You're just gonna set it on your counter for 2 days. We're gonna let it ferment, and then it's ready for long-term storage. So 2 days on the counter, and then you stick it in the fridge, and it's gonna be good for 2 months. Assuredly will not last you 2 months because you're gonna be using this in smoothies, to top pancakes. You can eat it with yogurt, you can top ice cream with it. It's absolutely delicious. It doesn't last as long as a typical ferment. So as an example, if you've made pickles or sauerkraut, those things last in the fridge months and months and months. Now, and not even canning, just in a regular salt brine ferment. This is just a salt brine ferment. But with the fruit, you do want to use it up in 2 months. If you notice any foam come to the top, or sometimes you'll even notice a little bit of mold, that's okay. That's actually the salt and the microbes. They're cleaning this environment and pulling to the top the things that they don't want in there. So you can just scoop that right off. There's not a problem. Now, if ever your ferment smells bad, doesn't look right, has an off color, if it's not like a fresh, sour smell, there's probably a problem. Something's gone wrong. Maybe it was too hot, maybe something wasn't cleaned right. Then you know you need to start all over if it really looks like it went bad. So let's set this on the counter and wait 2 days. Our cultured berries have been made. They've been in the refrigerator for 1 day. So they're nice and chilled. They smell sour, but fresh and like blueberries. So what I thought I would do is I would make a smoothie with our cultured berries, but I'm gonna do a half of a cup. Whenever you're trying a new food, try it in the lowest amount, just to make sure you don't have a reaction. So these are probiotic rich foods. This recipe is a half a cup of cultured berries and a half a cup of water, a quarter cup of yogurt, and I'm using the Kite Hill almond milk yogurt. So a quarter cup of yogurt, just a little bit of honey. We do want it to be palatable because this is going to be a little on the sour side. I always like to add vanilla just to give it a good flavor. About a half of a teaspoon of vanilla, half a cup of ice. Okay, let's try it and see how it turned out, even though I've made this many, many times. Tangy blueberries, the hint of sweetness from the honey and the vanilla. So refreshing. This is just one of those smoothies. It's really simple. There's not a lot of ingredients, and that's just one of the reasons why I love it. I hope you guys like this video, a part of Anna from the Fermented Homestead and her Fermented February. I have everyone's links down below that is participating in Fermented February, so don't forget to check out other people's videos, and as well as Anna from Fermented Homestead is going to be doing a giveaway at the end of the month. So check out her page and I'll have that listed below as well. So hey you guys, thank you for joining me, and let me know in the comments, have you made any fermented or cultured foods? And if so, which are your favorites? Thanks guys, have a good day.